This video is brought to you by our friends at Squarespace. Hi, I'm Allison. This is Wonder Crochet. Welcome back. Today I thought it would be fun if we designed a new crochet pattern together. So I get questions all the time about how I design crochet patterns and what that process looks like. So I thought it would be fun if we did that together. So I have been brainstorming for days, and sometimes new pattern ideas come to me immediately, and sometimes they come all at once, like multiple. But sometimes there is just a big creative lull and I just don't know what to make next, which happens sometimes because I have over 100 patterns now, so sometimes I just need a little help. So I put up a little question box on my Patreon, and you all gave me some great ideas of what free pattern you want to see next. And today we are going to design a new holiday themed pillow. So if you've seen my free pillow patterns, I have a bunch of different flower patterns. I have a pumpkin, but I don't have any Christmas themed ones. So today I am thinking of doing a Christmas tree, and I have no idea how I'm going to design it first, so I'll show you the process. But for this specifically, I was just trying to think of different pillows, crochet pillows that maybe I haven't seen that often. And the idea is a Christmas pillow, but we still have to do our research. So before we jump into our whole pattern design, I love designing crochet patterns and selling them on my website. If you want to sell your own crochet patterns on your own website, definitely check out Squarespace. If you've been here, you know I love Squarespace. It's the #1 platform for entrepreneurs and creatives to succeed online. You can create a beautiful website from the ground up with no prior web design experience. It has all the tools so you can sell physical goods as well as digital content and services. And there's also flexible website templates, so you can get started with a professionally designed Squarespace website template where you can customize the look, update the content, and then add the features to fit your needs. So if you want to take your crochet business to the next level, sell crochet patterns or plushies on your own website, or even have your own blog like me, you can go to squarespace.com/wondercrochet and use the code wondercrochet to save 10% on a new website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video, and let's get into our pattern design. Once I have an idea of the type of pattern that I want to make, then I go into my research phase. So I just want to look at what's already out there. So I obviously don't want to create a pattern that already exists. I don't want to copy anyone, and it would be silly for me to create the same pattern over again. So that's the first part of my research. The second part is I like to look at what already exists. Say I'm making a monkey plush. I can look up other monkey plushes, not crocheted, just manufactured ones, to just kind of get the shape and the idea and the coloring of what I want to create. So we're going to do the same thing with this Christmas tree pillow. Let's just look up Christmas tree pillow. And I like to go to the images and just see what we have here. So as you can see, there are many different Christmas tree pillows. I obviously want it to be more of this shape here and not a square pillow like this, since I want it to be kind of a cross between amigurumi and a pillow. Oh, this is cute. Okay, so this has kind of a Jellycat look to it. So it has the cute face, and then it has the little feet that Jellycat have. I think that I want to do something kind of similar to this. Obviously not the same. We're just using this as some inspiration. And I also like the shape of these. I feel like this is an AI photo, but I do like that. So I'm going to save this photo as well. And again, just for inspiration, we're not taking these ideas and copying them. Let's do this one because I like the shape of this tree again. I'm going to make it a little bit more cutesy. I'm going to add a face, and it's not going to be the same color, but I do like this shape for some inspiration. Now that I've seen what's out there in terms of just regular throw pillows, I am going to look at crochet ones. Again, I want to make sure that I am not copying anything that already exists. We have this one over here by 3am Grace Designs, which I love her stuff. And Ours will look much different than this, but we are going with the cutesy look and a star on top, so I want to make sure that ours is very different from that one that already exists. And just scrolling here, I honestly don't see a ton of kind of kawaii amigurumi pillows, which is really great for us. I'm going to spend some more time doing this, doing some research, going onto Etsy, going onto Ravelry, and really doing a deep dive into this. I am not going to take you through the painstaking process of researching all of these, so I'll come back here after I've finished my research. Okay, I did a deep dive on Google, Etsy, Ravelry, Ribbler, and Instagram, and I didn't see anything resembling what I would like to make. So that's really what I wanted to make sure of. So what I did next is I made this little mood board type of thing. Maybe not mood board, reference photos. The things that I found on Google. Again, it's not really going to look like this, but it kind of gives me an idea of the shape, and that helps my mind whenever I am pattern designing. So going off of these reference photos, I am now going to do a little drawing of what I want my pillow to look like roughly. I will preface this by saying I am not very good at drawing, so this is going to be just a quick rough drawing because I really want us to get into pattern designing, but it's really nice to just have a visual of exactly what I'm trying to do. Okay, so here is our very rough drawing of our Christmas tree pillow. What do you think? It's obviously not going to be this pointy. That's just kind of what happened as I started to draw it, but I want to do the cute face and the typical pink rosy cheeks and a star on top and then little feetsies on the bottom. That'll be kind of like the trunk, but they'll be feet and he'll be sitting, if that makes sense. This is how it looks in my head. So now that we have our drawing, let's pick out the yarn that we're going to use and the hook and start crocheting. Ignore my disheveled look. I just went for a jog, but it's because it's so nice outside. It's November and it was 76 degrees, so I had to get some fresh air. So normally with my pillow patterns, I use size 7 jumbo yarn. And that's like our Sweet Snuggles or Parfait XL, and I use that with a 9mm crochet hook. So they're big and pillow sized, and they don't take, well, that's not true, they do take a bit to make, but they don't take as much time as if you were to try to make it this size using a size 6 super bulky yarn. So I've been going back and forth whether I want to use size 7 yarn or size 6 yarn in designing this pattern, and I'm honestly not sure. So I put up a poll on Instagram to ask all of you what you would rather have, because this pattern is for you. So obviously want to make what you all are actually going to utilize. And right now the poll is very close, but it does look like size 7 jumbo yarn did win. And it's 53 to 47%, so I apologize that it's so close. The poll has been up for a few hours and jumbo yarn has 492 votes. Super bulky yarn has 441 votes. So it's super close, but jumbo did win. I'm sorry if you voted for super bulky yarn. You can definitely still make this pattern, but of course it will be much smaller. But it'll still make a cute plushie, I promise. So looking at the colors that we have here in the super bulky yarn, since that is what we're going to be designing this in, I have these greens over here. So I have this one, which is key lime. I have this one, which is smashed. They put the wrong thing on it. It says tangerine, but this is definitely not tangerine. I'm gonna have to look it up. No, this one's definitely too mint colored. So these are our two choices. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking go with this one, right? Because it looks more like a Christmas tree. But I think I want to make it pastel. I just love a pastel color palette. And as you know, we decorate the craft room for Christmas every year. And this green would go really great with the pink couch. So I think I already answered my own question, but if you are making this, know that this color is an option in Parfait XL. I need to look it up. I'll pop it on the screen what it is if you don't want to do the pastel green. But for the purposes of what I want for the craft room, I'm going to do our light green key lime here. Now that we've done our research, we have our little prototype here, the yarn that we're going to use. I'm going to be using a 9mm crochet hook with this. I'm going to grab my good old trusty notebook and pen, and I'm going to start writing the pattern. So what I do first when I'm writing a pattern is I decide which end I'm going to start crocheting with first. Am I going to start with the head, or am I going to start with the legs and the bottom? For this Christmas tree, I need to decide if I'm starting from the top or if I'm starting from the bottom. If I'm starting from the top, then I'll start with a magic circle since it's a point at the top. If I'm starting at the bottom, then I am going to start with a chain since it will be long. So this pillow won't be round like a regular Christmas tree. It'll be kind of flat like a pillow, so you can actually sit on it or lay on it if you'd like, but it will still have a little bit of squish to it. So we'll put polyfill in there. Okay, I hope I haven't lost you yet. So I think I am going to start at the top. And that is because it's going to be difficult for me to create the shape that I want. I think it's going to be difficult to create the shape I want regardless, but it will be more difficult to start with a chain at the bottom just because I'm most comfortable crocheting in the round and designing in the round because I mostly design amigurumi. So we are going to start at the top, and I'm going to start with a magic circle. I'm going to pop on the screen this wonderful reference guide that I found for designing crochet patterns and the shape that you want. So definitely pause this, take a screenshot of it if you want to design crochet patterns. I'm going to start designing the pattern, and I'll check in when I've made some progress. Okay, I'm back with a little update. Number one is I decided to use a different color yarn. I didn't realize that I have key lime and I have green ash, and they're pretty similar, but key lime is just a little bit lighter, a little bit more pastel, and green ash is just a little bit darker. So I decided to go with green ash, and this is Sweet Snuggles yarn. I'll link it in the description. And this is the shape that we have so far for our tree. And let me tell you, it's a good thing I wasn't recording this whole process because there was a ton of trial and error with this to get it to this shape. Now, is this going to be big enough for a throw pillow? I'm not sure. Will I have to scrap this and start over? Again, not sure. This is just what happens when you're designing a new pattern. So I am going to do 2 more layers here, and it might be large enough for a little throw pillow, but I'm just going to have to see. So what I did is I used that guide to create this shape here, and then I actually skipped some stitches in between to make these branches here, and then I'll have to sew these up at the end. Or I could maybe crochet them closed. I think it'd just be easier to sew them up. So we're making good progress. Again, lots of trial and error. I'm going to finish these 2 bottom branches here and see if the size is what we want for our little throw pillow. Okay, I apologize for the lighting. It's the next morning. It's very early right now. But I finished the little tree. Well, not so little. It is a little bit smaller than I wanted it to be. However, I really like it. I think that it's going to look really great once we finish it. And I did end up slip stitching all these closed. So this tree itself is no-sew, and this is the shape that I wanted. I did a lot of trial and error to get this shape, so I'm very excited about it. I think I'm going to do the star next, and then see how it looks if I add some feet on it, and then obviously the face details, and I'm going to probably add like some garland. It's all trial and error. That's all what pattern writing is about. I just made this little star and I had to show you because it's just so cute. I started designing this in size 7 jumbo yarn, and it was not working. It was way too big and it just wasn't the shape that I wanted because the yarn was so big. So I decided to go with Parfait Chunky and a 4.5mm hook, and it's perfect. So I could keep it like flat like this and, you know, just add it to the top here. But honestly, I think I want it to be a little bit thicker. So I'm going to create one more and then sew them together and add just a bit of stuffing in between. So it's more of like a plushy star than it is just like a flat star, because they tend to curl up over time if you sew them on just flat. So I think it'll look better if we do a little bit of a plushy one. We shall see. I really love how it's turning out. I finished the star and I did sew two of them together, and then I made the little legs. As you can see, they're a little bit longer, but when he sits down, then you can just kind of see the feet, and it almost looks like the stem of the tree, and that's exactly what I was going for. So I'm very excited. It's coming together nicely. I think I'm going to do the face next. Fun fact, when I design crochet patterns, I don't put the safety eyes in usually until it's all closed up, because I want to make sure that I put them in the right place. So a lot of mine I have to glue in, and that's why I don't sell a lot of my plushies, because especially like the first prototypes that I do, the eyes are either just, you know, hanging out there and you can pull them out, or I glue them in. So I am going to add the eyes and face and cheeks, and then we'll work on the details. For the actual garland, I'm not sure how I want to do it yet. I'm thinking of maybe tying it on to like different parts and kind of stringing it down. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to do just a plain strand of super bulky yarn, or if I want to do like a chain. I'm not sure yet. Again, trial and error. That's what it's all about. It worked. I really like how it turned out here, and basically I just tied it in different spots and kind of strung it along, but I wanted to keep it simple. Again, if you make this, you can add some Christmas lights if you want, but I kind of like how it looks like this. Actually, I love how it looks. And let's look at our prototype to see how we did. And honestly, I am very happy with how it turned out and the shape and everything. So I hope you've enjoyed this little design a crochet pattern along with me video. If you'd like to see a part 2 to see how I actually type up my patterns and how I film videos and market them on social media, let me know. I'd love to share. So you can find this cute pattern for free on my blog. If it's not already out when I release this video, then it'll be out soon. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video, and thank you to all of you for watching. Of course, let me know what types of videos or patterns you'd like to see next, and as always, we'll see you again real soon.